Welcome to the 127th commencement exercises of Thomas College. It is so great to be together. We'll begin this afternoon's ceremony with the national anthem. Please stand. Please remain standing. That'll come in a minute. Professor Steve Dyer will now lead us in the invocation.
Today you will graduate from Thomas College, full of wisdom and full of knowledge. Tomorrow will be the next chapter and forever. What you do with it is completely up to you. You will meet obstacles and you will have successes. You will meet new people who will help you out. You will meet new people who will bring you down. You will have two choices that will always affect your life: who you surround yourself with and who you avoid. Choose wisely. Don't lose touch with your close friends from Thomas. They can keep you honest. Don't lose touch with your professors and staff from Thomas. They can help to open doors when a crack of light is all you can see. Don't lose touch with your family. They will be your greatest cheerleaders in good times and bad. And finally, don't lose touch with your faith. That will keep you grounded when it seems like no one else is around. Seek justice, love mercy, walk humbly. Blessings to each one of you.
Thank you so much, Steve. Please be seated. Before we begin today's ceremony, I'd like to pause for a moment of silence to recognize three members of our precious Thomas family who have passed over the past year. Our dear classmate, teammate, and friend, Antonio Martinez, from the class of 2020, gone way too soon. The man who greeted us each morning in the dining center, making the world's best omelets, Steve Loader, who worked for Sodexo on our campus for 11 years. and a beloved former faculty member, Dr. Nelson Medor, who served this community for 40 years, touching the lives of thousands of students. These very special people added such joy to our community, they will be forever in our hearts. In addition, I'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks and congratulations to two members of the Thomas family who will be retiring this spring. Associate Professor Dr. Dick Wilkins, who taught in the School of Arts and Sciences for 10 years, and Nancy Charette, who served in advancement for over 13 years. Thanks to both of them for their amazing commitment to Thomas College. They too will be greatly missed. What a year this has been. A college, like a family or a community, has ups and downs, joys and pains, successes and failures, times of challenge and times of ease, growth, improvement, reinvention, always changing, always evolving, just like each of you. Today we celebrate the grit, the determination, and the fortitude that has brought all of you through this pandemic, which has upended our lives and brought so much pain and disruption to our communities. When we were forced to make the decision last March to send our students home, it almost broke our hearts. This community thrives on the close connections between our faculty, staff, our students, and our families. The pandemic forced us all into a new mode of operations, but we made the commitment to continue as best we could. And that translated into a commitment to have everyone come back on campus this past fall and to be on campus all this year. Not all colleges were able to do that. Very few did it as well as this special place. Because of our collective commitment to the common good, we were able to be here today, together, to celebrate the classes of 2020 and 2021. So let's begin. It is our custom to open the ceremonies with our charge to the graduates from our commencement speaker. Later in the program, I will have more to say about our distinguished guest, but at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Meredith Strang-Burgess as this year's commencement speaker. Meredith is president and CEO of Burgess Advertising and Marketing, a communications company located in Falmouth, Maine. Diagnosed with breast cancer in 1999, Meredith has become a tenacious advocate for cancer awareness and prevention. She is the past president of the Maine Cancer Foundation and has served in the Maine State House of Representatives and on boards of the Maine Cancer Consortium, the Maine Public Health Association, and the Portland Ronald McDonald House. Please join me in welcoming Meredith Strang-Burgess.
Good afternoon, everybody. And I'm going to take my mask down so I can actually really put a big smile, because you guys have all put a big smile on my face already. I'm so happy to see you all in person. I wanted to thank and say a special thanks to President Lori LaChance, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, honored guests, master's degree candidates, families, friends, and, oh yeah, the classes of 2020 and 2021 Thomas College soon-to-be graduates. Thank you for this amazing honor to speak to you today on this very, very, very special day, and also for the opportunity to get dressed up. It's been a little while, you know. I have to confess, I haven't worn heels for, I don't know, about 18 months maybe. I have been so excited for this day. I've been watching you all for over a year. We were supposed to meet last year, and so I have just been watching you guys go through and be on campus this year and really be a model for colleges all across America and beyond. Last year, I was going to talk to you more about twists and turns that life gives you. But today, you actually have lived more twists and turns and pure chaos than any other graduating class probably since World War II. The 60s, Vietnam, it didn't affect the whole country, young and old, like COVID has. So what have we learned? Well, we've learned a lot. And we've also learned that if you have a goal, you can get there. It might not have been the straight line that you might have envisioned maybe a year or so ago, but you all still got here. Might have taken a little longer. Maybe you've been living in different places along the way. Maybe there were times where you really wondered if it was worth it or if it really mattered. Well, it does matter, and you all matter. I am in such awe of all of you. It's really hard to think there's anything that I can say that could inspire, because I just want to let you know that you all inspire me. My job today, however, is to tell you the sobering news that life probably isn't done messing around with you just yet. Sure, you've got a little bit of a head start because you've already learned some amazing coping skills. And I guess that's one of those silver linings of the coping skills that you all have, and you had a goal and you're here. One of my big first lessons in life and coping skills was that I really wanted to attend this college. Unfortunately, it wasn't Thomas, it was Colby up the street. And I wanted to go there crazy bad. And I applied in my end of my junior year. And they said, no, we want you to, stick around, finish your senior year, and then apply again. So I applied in the fall for early decision at Colby, and they turned me down for the second time. And then I applied sort of the regular time, and they turned me down for the third time. And I thought, I don't understand. And in fact, the Colby normally takes only one or two folks from my class. I graduated from Camden Rockport High School. And one of the gals was top of our class and just phenomenal and deserved to be at Colby. The other person was only accepted at Colby because her parents had bought a building. And that was my big first wake-up call as to how the world goes around and that life isn't always fair. But I ended up at the University of Maine at Orono and had a very fun 4 years. And I tried about every major that I could possibly try. I started in pre-med and ended somewhere in ecology and natural resources. And after 4 years, I didn't fit any major. So I went to the dean and maybe sort of said, I've been here for 4 years, I've got plenty of credits, they just don't add up to anything. So we sort of came up with a new major. And it's called Natural Resources Management, and I'm happy to say that it exists today after all these years. And it still has some really weird courses in the major. It's got some science, it's got some political science, it has geology, it's got public speaking. It's just a real hodgepodge of things. But it's a really great major, and people are out there doing wonderful things. So I graduated knowing that I was qualified, actually, with my soil science degree to design your septic system. So that, or I could become a forester or do something. But I fell madly in love with glaciers, and I wanted to go to Antarctica. And that was my plan. After college, I would go to Antarctica and figure it out from there. Well, just before, sort of in the spring of my senior year, the professor, Harold Borens, came to me and said, Meredith, there's a problem. Women aren't allowed in our section of the Antarctica, I can't talk now, Antarctica, base station. This was in 1977, 78, and there was this thing about bathrooms and the fact that, they didn't have any separate bathrooms for women, and there were only men that go to the scientific base station. And so he said, you can't come with us. So unusual for me, I didn't fight it, I didn't protest. I sort of went in a completely different direction and found myself in Massachusetts needing to get a job, because that's what one does when you graduate from school and your parents wish you well. And I had gotten married to my college sweetheart, and he was going to Bentley for his graduate degree. And he sort of said, you're not living with your parents anymore, and you need to get a job. I said, but there's no soil in Massachusetts. There's no things that I can do here. So he said, well, across the street there's a McDonald's restaurant. Why don't you go see if you can get a job? So I went to McDonald's, and I have another confession to you all. I don't know how to cook. But I can clean. I can clean really well. So I applied for a job to be a hostess and help put on birthday parties and all that. And I met with the manager, and he said, wow, you'd be great to do that, but I don't have authority to hire for this position. Can you come back tomorrow? So I have to go home that night, tell my new husband that, in fact, I didn't get a job today at McDonald's, but I was going to go back the next day. So I went back the next day, and they said, oh my gosh, you just missed who you need to meet with. And can you go to this other store? And this went on like this for a couple days. In fact, maybe like 3 or 4 days before I finally met this magical person who I needed to meet to be hired to be a hostess at McDonald's. And I finally met her. She was about a year older than I was, and just this very bubbly gal, and to do that. And she goes, oh my gosh, we would love to have you help do birthday parties and help us keep our lobby clean. And I said, well, that's wonderful. After 4 or 5 days of trying to get a job, I was feeling pretty low. And I said, well, now that we have this out of the way, what do you do? You sound like you have an amazing job. She goes, oh my gosh, I have the best job on the planet. I have 5 McDonald's restaurants. I work with corporate. I work with their national ad agency. I get to do local promotion, and I have staff. And I said, well, that sounds amazing. She goes, would you like to do that? I said, well, sure. That sounds like a great job. She literally made one phone call. I was interviewed immediately at their corporate offices, hired on the spot, and which really launched what I do for a career, which is marketing and advertising and communications. Who knew that I was going to go to try to get a job at McDonald's to just kind of like get from point A to point B and end up with the beginning of a career? It certainly took one of those twists and turns. Then I came back home to Maine, and I had a chance to work for an advertising agency in Portland, but it was bought out, and all of a sudden I was in a situation where I needed to get a job again. And it was suggested that I maybe start my own company. And I was 28 or 29 years old, and I thought, I am too young. I just don't know enough yet. I don't know, I'm just not ready. So I ended up starting with 3 male partners. And so there were 4 of us, we were equal partners. Can I tell you that that's a real interesting trick to do too? And we started our company. It was called Burgess Brewer Stanton and Payne. And about 4 years later, the economy changed again, as it always does, in 89 and 90, with 2 of my partners wanting to go back to New York City, where they had come from. So I bought out every single one of those guys. And it was a great feeling. Then, life was good. I was married, I had 3 kiddos, and everything was just kind of going along. We were successful in business, and I was in my beautiful home state. And then that life thing again came up and bit me. My husband sort of lost his moral compass, and he had his own business in real estate, and all of a sudden I found myself owing $4 million to the bank. And that there were some interesting things that went along with that, but it wasn't exactly happy news to me. And we worked things through, and it took me 5 years to get divorced, and I got divorced backwards. Who knew that was even a thing? But 1999 came along, and the millennium was a big deal for us at that point. And I said, you know what, it's time. And I got divorced. We had things pretty well figured out. And then, 10 days later, I got diagnosed with cancer. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't exactly how I had this planned. I had just turned 43 years old. I was a single mom of 3 little kids and a business owner. And cancer? I hadn't really even thought that was possible. It wasn't on my horizon. It was a huge surprise. So we went on to learn a lot about cancer. And from September of '99 to the end of the year, I had many different surgeries and ultimately ended, get this, for the millennium, I entered the millennium with not a single female part left in this body. It wasn't exactly, again, how I had planned that. But it was an interesting way to start 2000. Along the way, somebody asked me, so what'd you learn about this? What did you learn from this experience? And what are you going to do about it? And I was happily in agreement with what it felt like a natural thing to do, to speak up and speak out. You didn't hear a lot from younger people having cancer, none less younger women having breast cancer. And as I already told you, I didn't have any female parts left. And yes, this is my stomach up here. And who would ever have known that something that some of us girls were always excited to get, our breasts, would try to kill you. So I went on and did a lot of fun things with the American Cancer Society, but then we found out there was this local group, Maine Cancer Foundation, and we have raised millions of dollars, and all that money that we've raised have stayed here in Maine. I'm hoping some of you might have even participated in or have heard of the Try for a Cure. The Try for a Cure is an all-female triathlon that occurs usually every July. We're going to be virtual again for our second year this year, but we'll be back to it. I've had the honor of completing now 15 triathlons. Me doing a triathlon? I never expected that to happen either. So we know that the pandemic has caused many, many, many people to forego their regular health and cancer screenings. So I really need you guys to help me, please, today. So tonight, and although you probably don't need to even wait till tonight, I imagine later this afternoon, that you can help me by talking to the women that you love. And the women that you love are everything from your moms, your sisters, your grandmothers, your aunts. And please ask them, look them right in the eye and say, have you had your mammogram this year? And if you haven't, please, 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 talk to your doctor, get a mammogram. We now do self-checks are also done. But please, please, please do that. You all are responsible for this body that you've been given. And you already are so much more healthy than my generation was. After all, remember, I grew up at McDonald's. So life is what happens when you're making other plans. So remember, if you can, as you go through this life, and it's going to trip you up from time to time when you least expect it, you can make it, you can do it, but it's all about you. Remember to be kind, thoughtful, give back to your community, have fun, Live, love, and laugh often. Answer the door when opportunity knocks. Take smart risks. And when you think you can't do it, why not? Who says you can't do it? And remember, everybody has a story. And you don't know necessarily what everybody else's story is. So give people a break. Always follow your conscience. Follow your heart. If you do that, you will always sleep well. And one little thing here. Remember, everything you put on social media lasts forever. So clean up your Facebook pages, hold your head up high, and remember, it's all up to you. No one can make you feel anything. You are the only one in charge of how you feel. Every day you have a choice. How will you face that day? I hope you'll choose to make the day everything it can be. And congratulations to all of you graduates. I'm totally and completely in awe of what you've accomplished in the last 18 months and the fact that you are here and are moving on with this exciting chapter of your life. This is just the beginning of great things from the class of 2021. Thank you all, and congratulations.
Meredith, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your guidance. We are honored to have you with us today. Thomas College has a tradition of inviting students to speak at commencement. Today, we will hear from Kyle Green, speaking for the undergraduate students, and Tiffany White, representing the graduate students. Kyle is from Claremont, New Hampshire, and will be graduating magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education. Kyle has been an outstanding leader at Thomas as president of Student Senate, as an orientation leader, a student ambassador, and a member of the campus activity boards and the student philanthropy team. He's been a key student leader at Thomas during his time, and no more so than in this extraordinary COVID year. We are looking forward to welcoming him back in the fall to continue his education in the one-year master's program in educational leadership. Please join me in welcoming Kyle.
Thank you, President LaChance. Oh my, where do I even begin? I guess I haven't passed out yet, so is that a start? But to truly begin, how are we all doing today? Good? It's a day to celebrate, so I was hoping for that reaction. I wanted to welcome esteemed faculty and staff, honorable trustees and guests, respected alumni, loving family and friends, and the graduates of 2020 and 2021. I guess I'll be the first, or even maybe the last, to say what a heck of a year. Somehow, in some way, we survived it. I know for myself and many others, this has been a year full of struggle, obstacles, and enormous hurdles we just barely made it over, or didn't make it over at all. This is a class that will go down in history, and instead of dwelling on an unprecedented year, we should celebrate all we were able to achieve during this year and the years that came before. Because at the end of today, this very day, we are college graduates. Now, I want us all to visualize something for me. I want us to visualize the experience at Thomas as if we were running a marathon. Now, I know we are all not runners, but still visualize running this 26.2-mile run. Okay, for some of us, it can be a half marathon. Anyways, when you start off strong. This is a new race, new spectators, and a new experience. Maybe you're even running a new path that you've never ran before. You're feeling a little nervous, anxious, or even excited. This was like our first steps on campus, whether it was a tour of campus during your senior year in high school, during summer orientation, or even your first steps in August to enter your first fall term. You are starting the path of your next few years. You start off strong to claim who you are, but on the inside, you are a bit nervous about what the future could look like, or in our runner's case, what the next 20 miles has ahead for us. Back to our run. You're running, and you're about 8 or 10 miles in. You're not exhausted yet, but it is taking a toll on you. You haven't quite figured out a pace, but you're going strong. At times you speed up, and at times you need to slow down. However, you're focused. At this point, to keep the momentum, you may try new things or stay right where you are, because what you are doing is working. You approach mile 16 or 17, you still know you're over the halfway mark, and you are just coasting. You run past people you saw that you thought would have passed you, or what would have been right next to you. This point in the race, you get comfortable, and you're just running. You keep going. Think about this as our sophomore or junior year, where you're doing fine and getting things done. For some people, you're getting by just fine, doing your thing. For others, you're trying new things to improve your abilities. It's a mix of being comfortable and figuring things out. Our run is approaching 22 miles. At this point, you're beat, exhausted, and ready to give up. Inside, you have the hope and desire continue, but physically, you are drained. You may think, I've just ran 22 miles. That should be enough, right? You may even have a broken ankle or something at this point, but you just want to give up. You start to slow down, and you see others that passed 20 miles ago or even 8 miles ago begin to catch up. You know you must do something to kick it in gear and finish this race you chose to start. You start to think about the people you are doing this for, the reason you are doing this for, and you think about why you are doing this. Then you think, you're doing this for yourself. You think about the way you feel crossing that finish line, and you see the people's faces who are waiting for you. Inside, you start feeling a little giddy and like you can breathe again. And your feet start to pick up faster, and you are no longer even thinking about how tired and exhausted you are. You are just thinking about running and finishing this race. Out of nowhere, you see the 26-mile marker, and you're in disbelief with how little you have left. You know you must finish with this being your best performance possible. Then, without you knowing it, you are sprinting, meeting the ones that you passed, and keep going. Now, you see the finish line, and there is no stopping you. You feel every ray that the sun is projecting, the wind in your face, and you start to grin. To your surprise, you just crossed the finish line with the best you could have done. You got yourself through that race, and you did it on your own. Think about those last few miles we just ran as our senior year, where you really wanted to give up, but your loved ones and you got you through it. This year, I think we all wanted to give up at one point. Even if you didn't want to give up, you still went through something. Well, just like our run, we have to finish strong, and we have. Our finish line today is this very stage, and though I hope none of us run through it, we need to feel every second that we felt on our run. Breathe in this moment, cherish it, and appreciate it. Because right now, today, we're all champions and victors in our own race. Now, though we are just about to win our race, I want to talk about one last thing. Last week, I walked into someone's office to ask a few questions about today. That office happened to be Michelle Yates, who is our registrar. Though I thought I was walking in to ask a few questions, I left with so much more. Walking in, I was experiencing that feeling we had at mile 22. When Michelle saw this, she told me things I will never forget. She said, when things get hard, this is just one piece of our summation of life, and it does not define us. No one will ever understand what we go through except us. So allow us to feel, let things go, and know your worth. If you tell yourself these things, like I have been the past few weeks, you will always get yourself through anything. If people happen to give up on you, then so be it and move on. To conclude, I do need to take a selfish moment to thank the people who have helped me become the human I am, because I'm not sure the next time I'll have a platform this big. Though I cannot thank all of my friends, I did want to say thank you to the most important ones. To Emma and Brogan, you know you hold a special place in my heart, and I will never take our friendship for granted. You guys are my soulmates. To Elise, Cassidy, Stevo, Megan, Emily, and Sydney, thank you for making my life better and bringing a smile to my face. To my family, thank you for being my support system no matter where life takes me. And to the two women who mean the world to me, thank you to my mom and my Nana for being the best two role models a person could ask for, showing me what hard work and grit looks like, and to always advocate your true self. Thank you for sticking by my side no matter where life throws at me. You two are the reason that keeps me going and are the reason I am up here today. I love you. With that said, undergraduate and graduate class of 2020 and 2021, be proud of yourselves today. It is your day. Feel every moment. Moving forward, don't think you need to have your entire life planned out. If you do, incredible. If not, just as incredible. Do what makes you happy and keep running your race until you make it to many finish lines. Don't forget, you are your own victors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Representing the graduate division students will be Tiffany White. Tiffany is from Barnstead, New Hampshire, and completed her Bachelor of Science in Accounting, Forensic Accounting concentration degree, summa cum laude, in August 2020, and is graduating this year with her Master's of Business Administration accounting degree. In her time at Thomas, Tiffany has been a peer tutor, a member of Student Senate, a resident assistant, a member of the Accounting Society, and a member of Phi Beta Lambda. Tiffany was also a member of the Thomas team that took international honors at this year's Society for the Advancement of Management competition. After graduation, Tiffany will join the audit department of Baker Newman Noyes in New Hampshire, while she works to become a certified fraud examiner and a certified public accountant. Please welcome Tiffany.
Thank you, President LaChance. Hello, everyone. First, I wanted to thank everyone who made this day possible. Could everyone please join me in a round of applause for all their hard work? This day is a lot different than commencement a year ago. We were in the middle of quarantine, and I had to get out of my bed and dress before 10 a.m., which was rare for that time, and I was sitting on the couch with my parents, and we were anxiously awaiting for almost the end of the ceremony to see my name scroll across the screen. I think that is a big part on why today is so special, so exciting, so full of love and happiness. Honestly, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was surprised that we could all be here together today. It is something I kept hoping for every time I would open an email from the president's office, but I didn't know if it was possible. It was a very happy day when we got the email saying that Thomas was going to hold commencement, and an even happier day when we were told that we could have 2 guests. My mom made my decision pretty easy when she called and said, "Your 2 guests are Dad and I, right?" Throughout this last year, especially this school year, we've had scary and uncertain moments, but we've also had happy, joyful, and meaningful moments. I remember back to the very first day of the intensive weeks for the graduate program. Most of us were just excited to be back on campus and be around peers again after a spring break lasting 17 weeks. We were so thrilled that we were actually looking forward to class, which, mind you, was from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, maybe looking forward to that much class is a little bit of a stretch. But we did come back with a different perspective. I know that I definitely did. I was excited for things I never thought I would be excited about. Being able to eat in the dining center again with friends, doing schoolwork in study rooms at all hours of the night, and sharing a bathroom with 20 of my closest friends. It may not sound like the most fun when I'm saying them out loud, but I know that when this school year started, it was different than ever before. We should carry this perspective with us into the future and beyond, to appreciate things a little more, whether it just be time hanging out with friends, being able to talk and learn in person, or being able to celebrate accomplishments like we are today. Graduation is a day dedicated to celebration. Each and every graduate has their own unique story of how they got to being here today. Students here don't often say freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior because everyone's on their own course. Students are here that have graduated in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or more years, and the reality is that it doesn't matter. The best thing about this is that life is not a race because everyone's on their own path. Instead, life is a journey with several different paths to choose. Sometimes the journey may be rocky, but there will always be beautiful views along the way. It is important to take time to stop, reflect, and appreciate how far you've come. Graduating college is a big deal, and it may not even be today when that sets in. It may be a few days, months, or even when school starts back up again in the fall, and we aren't preparing our binders for class, packing our cars to move back in, and other students fill the rooms that were once ours. Although it is very emotional for us, we are definitely ready to go out into the world and make our mark. I know that the graduates in this room and in the tents will exceed their goals and make a positive difference in the world, which is good because I plan on bragging to my future kids that I went to college with famous people. But anyways, be sure to love what you're doing every day and to stand up for what you believe in because life is too short not to. There are really no limits to what you can do, and today is the first step to accomplishing those goals. When I was up here, I wanted to take the opportunity to thank a few people. First, the best advisor in the world who is tuning into the live stream, Professor Donato. Though when I got here I was super nervous to set up my first meeting, I ended up spending so much time in his office to perfect my schedule and asking last-minute questions before exams. The whole accounting department for caring so much about the students and for their success. Now for my family. My mom, who would answer all my FaceTime calls and never failed to text me good morning and good night every single day when I was at school. My dad, who would drive the 6-hour round trip just to fix my car in the parking lot and to take me out for lunch. My brother, who would never fail to make me laugh. My aunt for the best care packages. And my grandparents, who are now vaccinated and I can't wait to go home and hug for the first time in a year. And Steele for making this year so much better. My peers in the MBA program for coming together to make our voice heard and making the MBA program the best that it can be. Lastly, the whole class of 2020 and 2021 for making Thomas such a special place. Regardless of where you are now, in a few years or in the long run, we will all always be part of the Thomas College class of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Will the candidates for the degrees of Associate in Arts and Associate in Science please rise? Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise? Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration please rise? Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science in Criminology, Master of Science in Cybersecurity, and Master of Science in Education please rise? President LaChance and members of the Board of Trustees, I have the honor of presenting to you these candidates for the degrees of Associate in Arts and Associate in Science, the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, and the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Criminology, Master of Science in Cybersecurity, and Master of Science in Education. As authorized by the faculty of Thomas College, I ask that the degrees now be conferred.
Thank you, Provost Edwards. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of Maine and the Board of Trustees of Thomas College, I hereby confer upon you the degrees of Associate in Arts and Associate in Science, the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, and the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Criminology, Master of Science in Cybersecurity, and Master of Science in Education, with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining.
Our students with an associate's degree. Natalie G. Witten, cum laude. Sophia Berry O'Clair, magna cum laude. And we'll begin with our master's students. Tiffany Jean White, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Bachelor students, if you want to sit for a bit, just looking out for you. Danielle Page Berard, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Emma Lee Burby, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Alexis Carol Bowman, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Dana James Brown, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Cassandra May Contagiani, class of 2020. Paige Elizabeth Costa, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Sadie Elizabeth Ferrin, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Aurora Marie Leclerc, undergraduate class of 2020 and graduate class of 2021. Zachary Michael McKinnon, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Kyle Isidore Marquis, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. John Riley McGuire Simonetti, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Quentin Reed Stebbins, class of 2020. Danita Marie Story, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Janine Sharon Wallace Rabira, class of 2020. Matthew Paul Karen, class of 2020. Giuseppe Antonio Creta, class of 2020. Natalie Lynn Dubai. Daniel Otieno. Lisa A. Jordan, class of 2020. Amanda Lynn Reagan. Stephen Michael Reed. Yes.
I got the Best Socks Award, so.
Madeline Courtney Stevens. Cade Robert Strout. Haley Yvonne Tabaj, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 21. Sheila Elaine Upton, class of 2020. Dylan Vayu. Simon Cade West. Michael Robert Zemrak. Alexandra Bernier. Lisa Sabula. Rafael Lopez Garza. Matthew Russell Kennedy. Matthew Addison Craig, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. Maddie Lincoln Strout, class of 2020. John Gulati. You're welcome. Shannon Knights Curtis. Andrea Alexa Mitchell.
PhDs and we can't untangle a knot.
There they go. Kristen Rose Petrie. Megan Elizabeth Stover, undergraduate class of 2020, graduate class of 2021. We're good. We're good. Our graduate students are going back to their tent. Yeah, so Jose, if you want to start. Kyle Zachary Green, magna cum laude. Carrie L. Abbott, summa cum laude, class of 2020. Sydney Jean Abbott, magna cum laude. Malena Rose Alisea, summa cum laude. Sage Lee Allard, magna cum laude. Thomas James Arps. Cariana May Aslin, summa cum laude, class of 2020. Riley Allen Austin, summa cum laude. Erin Kathleen Barnes, summa cum laude. Maya T. Barron. Tyler Bartlett, cum laude, class of 2020. Katie Leela Bollier, magna cum laude. Adam Michael Benoit, cum laude. Emily Ann Benoit. Way to be supportive. Nathan David Benoit. Caitlin Rose Begon, summa cum laude, class of 2020. Jacob Theodore Boyce. Nicole Elise Bradstreet, magna cum laude. Ethan James Burns, summa cum laude. Justin Butler. Ariana Delvina Canestraro, cum laude. Christy L. Carlo, summa cum laude. Jacob Thomas Carr. Congratulations. Benjamin Nicholas Casper Carter. Ian S. Cates, cum laude. Nicholas Chandler, class of 2020. Keegan Menard Chase, cum laude. James Nathaniel Chaluite, summa cum laude. Jacob H. Cheney, magna cum laude, class of 2020. Alexandria Danielle Catherine Clark, magna cum laude, class of 2020. Kaylee May Coburn, summa cum laude. Samantha Lynn Coughlin, cum laude, class of 2020. Caitlin Christie Coulter, cum laude, class of 2020. Alyssa Renee Curry, summa cum laude. Lexi Lane Dalton. Devin Eric Davis, class of 2020. Bethany Rose Deemer, cum laude. Gage Noah Derbyshire. Emily Elizabeth DeMillo. Caitlin Mary Doyle, cum laude. Joseph Gerald Lawrence Dulac, magna cum laude. Hayden Grant Elwell, cum laude. Iris Corey Farley, cum laude. Michele Fevris. Lucian Nicholas Fitz, cum laude. Thank you. Congrats. I love that on your sleeve. Love Gerson Florine, cum laude. Matthew Ryan Roger Folk. Cassidy Aline French, magna cum laude, class of 2020. Olivia Cecile French, summa cum laude. Lillian Wadley Friars, summa cum laude. Tasnay Latoya Kalisha Fubler. Avian Michael Joshua Gerard, cum laude. Kyle Eric Parker Gleason, magna cum laude. Cassidy D. Glenn, class of 2020. Cody Donnet Goslin Burby. Allie Teresa Gregoire, magna cum laude. Angela Nicole Guy, magna cum laude. Jason Kyle Hamilton. Robert Clayton Amadeus Hamrin. Logan T. Harrington, magna cum laude. Lauren Audra Hay, summa cum laude. Kyle Robert Heatley, magna cum laude. Sean Michael Henderson. Emma Audrey Hodgson, cum laude. Nicholas Aaron Holt, cum laude. Olivia Jean Homer. Morgan Jane Hutchins, magna cum laude. Christina Ashley Hutchinson, cum laude. Dean Alexander Jackman, magna cum laude, class of 2020. Joanna Gabrielle James. Haley Iris Jason, summa cum laude. Katrina Lynn Kennedy, magna cum laude. Rebecca P. Kennett. Audrey Lee Kimball, magna cum laude. Nicholas H. Cosmides, magna cum laude. Shannon Eileen Kostovic, magna cum laude. Princelle Katenge Kaneki. Lorraine Latosha Lawson. Jocelyn M. L'Italian, summa cum laude, class of 2020. Sophia B. Littlefield, magna cum laude.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, welcome home.
Patrick Lubin. Benjamin Aiden McLennan. Kwanzambi Joel Montando. John David McCarthy, magna cum laude. Duncan Michael McDougall, magna cum laude. Samantha Marie McIntyre, summa cum laude. Gabriel Hamilton Merrill, magna cum laude. Chandler Allen Moran, cum laude. Harrison James Mosher, cum laude. Julia Ann Netto, summa cum laude. Zachary Philip Netto, magna cum laude. Tyler Jordan Nixon. Mackenzie Lynn Oberholzer, magna cum laude. Kendi Ocean. Kathleen May O'Kelly, magna cum laude. Lillian Barbara Page. Alyssa Faith Paquette, summa cum laude. Evan Michael Parsons, magna cum laude. Bryn Elizabeth Alicia Patnode, cum laude, class of 2020. Alistair J. Pacini, cum laude. Marlene Ramirez. Mercedes Lynn Richard, magna cum laude. Isaac Henry Robichaud, magna cum laude. Jada Destiny Zion Samuels. Ryan Christopher Skapansky, magna cum laude. Shannon Everett Schofield. Elliot May Sharples, magna cum laude. Nicholas Austin Simpson, summa cum laude. Taylor Marie Sinclair, magna cum laude. Amber W. Smith, magna cum laude. Bradley Allen Smith. Rico L. Snowman, cum laude. Sierra Marie Stone. Michael Stephen Tardif, magna cum laude. Kiona Christine Tobin, cum laude. Margaret Marie Trask. Jessica Antoinette Trickett, class of 2020, cum laude. Congratulations. Lost her head. There she is. Riley Anne Marie Veloso, summa cum laude. John Henry Villanueva, cum laude. Janice L. Walker, summa cum laude, class of 2020. Eli Daniel Wall, magna cum laude. Liam Michael Wallace, magna cum laude. Congratulations. Dimitri Lamont Webster. Congratulations. Megan Elizabeth Welsh, summa cum laude. Justin James Martin Wentworth, magna cum laude. Thank you. Joshua Victor Westcott, cum laude. Meredith Wheeler, magna cum laude, class of 2020. Miranda Elaine Williams, magna cum laude. Troy W. Worcester, magna cum laude, class of 2020. Alexis Felch, class of 2020. And serving as your class marshals, helping us to orchestrate this afternoon and doing an awesome job. First marshal is Jose Antonio Afonso Luis, summa cum laude. And our other marshal, Jennifer May Snedeker, summa cum laude.
Will all the undergraduate students please move your tassels from the right to the left? Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the class of 2020 and the class of 2021. Thank you. President LaChance, I have the honor to present Meredith Strang Burgess for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Today, we honor Meredith Strang Burgess and bestow upon her the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Meredith Strang Burgess is president and CEO of Burgess Advertising and Marketing in Falmouth, Maine, a communications company that she helped to found and then purchased from her partners by the time she was 30. Meredith is an outspoken breast cancer survivor and advocates for breast cancer awareness and prevention. She is the past president of the Maine Cancer Foundation and helped create the successful Pink Ribbon Maine Specialty License Plate Program in 2008. She has completed 14 triathlons and jokes that she has the great honor of being the last finisher at the annual Maine Try for a Cure triathlon every July, the largest single-day fundraiser for this cause in Maine. In addition, Meredith has served in the Maine State House of Representatives and is a dedicated volunteer for numerous organizations. She helped to create the Maine Children's Growth Council and served on the Maine Early Learning Investment Group. She has also played leadership roles in the Maine Development Foundation, the Maine Cancer Consortium, the Maine Public Health Association, the University of Maine, Hebron Academy, the Maine Historical Society, and the Portland Ronald McDonald House. Meredith has lived her life by passionately helping others who face the terrifying diagnosis of cancer and showing them all that life can be once you persevere. Her unbounded passion and optimism are only surpassed by her compassion and kindness, which inspires all who know her. Meredith Strang-Burgess, in recognition of your commitment to serving the people of Maine through your personal, business, civic, and organizational leadership, we hereby award you the degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. The hood with which you are now invested and the degree now placed in your hands are the symbols of the Society of Scholars and the privileges to which you are entitled.
President LaChance, I have the honor to present Nancy Schumann and Charles Schumann for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Today, we honor Nancy and Charles Schumann and bestow upon each of them the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Former Thomas College trustee Charlie Schumann began his career at Henley Kimball Company, a Portland auto dealer, where he rose to the position of parts manager. He then moved to American Motors Corporation, where he worked for 17 years before going into business for himself. He developed a passion for auto sales while gathering insights about what it takes to run a dealership. This knowledge, combined with his penchant for mechanics, helped him launch his own venture when the opportunity presented itself in 1986, supported by his wife Nancy as executive vice president. What began as a modest dealership with 17 staff members is now Charlie's family of dealerships based in Augusta, Maine, with 9 stores, 3 corporations, and 250 employees. Charlie and Nancy have a simple philosophy about giving back to the Central Maine community. If the community is good to us, we will be good to the community. They believe that through the simple gestures of philanthropy, particularly when shared with those most likely to be overlooked, it is possible to give people dignity and hope. Together, they have volunteered and contributed to numerous charities, including Maine General Health, the Kennebec Valley Humane Society, the Children's Center, the Kennebec Valley United Way, Temple Beth El for the Nancy and Charlie Schumann Center for Jewish Learning, Good Shepherd Food Bank, Thomas College, and many others. In addition to their legendary philanthropic leadership throughout Central Maine, Charlie and Nancy are also philanthropic giants behind the scenes, quietly serving those in greatest need. In fact, Nancy is known for her shopping sprees. At the end of season sales at Kohl's, Walmart, and several other stores, where she purchases the entire inventory of children's clothing and toys. She shuts down an entire lane in the cashiers, and she has numerous carts. She fills her car and discreetly delivers everything to the Children's Center and the United Way office. In fact, according to the Kennebec Valley United Way, Charlie and Nancy Schumann truly exemplify what it means to live united. Charlie and Nancy Schumann, in recognition of your commitment to strengthening Central Maine's business community and for all you do to support the people, animals, and organizations in our region, we hereby award the degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. The hoods with which you are now invested and the degrees now placed in your hands are the symbols of a society of scholars and privileges, to all the privileges to which you are entitled. Congratulations. It's getting hot in here. Each year, it's my distinct privilege to share some final words of thanks, congratulations, and farewell. Over the past 15 months, the world has swirled around us, at times threatening to crush our spirit and our resolve. We have seen, and for some in this room today, we've actually felt and experienced sickness, suffering, and loss at a personal and global level previously unimaginable in our lifetimes. We've endured the sense of dread and fear over an unseen enemy. And at various points, we've borne the insidious weight that separation and distance has brought, keeping us from being able to fully enjoy our lives with the people we love. For all our graduates today, though these were supposed to be some of the best years of your young lives, years where you were totally free to be with others, whoever you wanted, whenever you wanted, wherever you wanted, for as long as you wanted. I know it's been hard, but you were strong. You showed courage and poise. You leaned into challenge, and you put the community's health and safety over your own wants. Each one of you, your choices, your tenacity, your grit, are the reason that we are here together today, celebrating in person with at least some of the people who you love the most. Thank you for that. Your college years are often the most transformational years of your life. You gain independence. You take charge of your own life. You find new perspectives on the world. You gain the deep knowledge and experiences that will empower you to grow into a productive worker, an informed citizen, an engaged community member, a loving, responsible family member. You make friends who will be forever a part of your lives. Some even meet their life partners. And all of this surely happened through these years. But the pandemic has given us a whole new layer of learning and a whole new level of transformation. As with any difficult time, there are always things to learn through this. So let's reflect for a moment on what we've learned in the last 15 months. What has the pandemic taught us? What gifts has this pandemic given us? COVID-19 taught us selflessness. We've had to sacrifice on our own wishes and alter our own actions to ensure the health and safety of the larger community. Tenacity. Surviving this pandemic has been hard, frustrating, grueling, difficult at every turn, and yet we did it. It's taught us to slow down. We've learned the peace can be found by throttling back, stopping to enjoy all of life's most important things, and really realizing, of course, that the most important things in life are not things at all. We've learned compassion. As difficult as our own lives may have been, we realized that others have suffered far more. This pandemic has laid bare the inequities that exist in our society, has created a greater awareness of what others face and endure, and for many, has lit a fire of self-awareness and service to the cause of social justice. And perhaps the greatest lesson of this pandemic has taught us is that life is fragile, and it's frequently too short. Value your family and friends. Never let them down. Tell them how much you love them. Let your actions show how much you care. Simply be there for them every single day. I end with this quote that I received from our own Chris Santiago, that he received from our own Judy Hanson-Childers, that she got from a gentleman named Zayad K. Abdelnour. Be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. I'm going to read that one more time. Be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for that help. As I look back over my own graduation, I realize that it is far less an ending and far more a beginning. You stand here today at the threshold, and you hold in your hands, your heads, and your hearts tremendous potential and opportunity. You can do anything. You can go anywhere, and you can be whoever you want to be. And so to you, the graduates of Thomas College's Class of 2020 and Class of 2021, and to the families who have nurtured and supported you, and the professors, coaches, staff, and community members that have invested in you, instructed you, challenged you, and inspired you, I offer my sincere congratulations. Best wishes to all of you.
Before we leave, many of you had Professor Cindy Lepley as a professor, and I wanted to read a reading from her to end our session today. It's called Beginnings and Endings. Life breaks and pours, a continuous sacrament of beginnings and endings. The close ties broken and tears poured at each ending. Nourish the seeds of each new beginning. Endings are nothing more than seeds of new beginnings. Turns in the road, new directions and experiences, new insights and wisdom, new challenges and excitement, new people and friendships, new visions and possibilities. Through endings, often painful seeds, grow the oaks of new beginnings. New life, bending in the wind and rain. All life flows in a continuous motion of beginnings and endings which help us bend and grow and be renewed. Let us celebrate endings and new beginnings, for through endings, God makes all things new.
Thank you so much, Steve. At this point, I would like to invite our graduates to join us in the procession. Just follow the leader. We haven't practiced this, but I'm sure it'll be awesome. Families and guests, I would ask you to please remain in your seats until everyone has exited. And then I invite you to join us outside, hopefully it hasn't started raining, to celebrate, take photographs, and have a bite to eat. Thank you, and congratulations to the classes of 2020 and 2021.